Please remain standing for the national anthem. Gentlemen, please remove your caps. You may be seated. Good morning and welcome to the commencement ceremony for Wakefield High School class of 2021. My name is Ashley Ziegler, and it has been my honor to serve as student body president this year. I would like to begin by thanking all the family members, teachers, and friends who have come to support and celebrate this very special day with us. The Wakefield class of 2021 is full of many talented students and will go down as one of the most successful classes to graduate in the 21-year history of Wakefield High School. Here are some interesting facts I would like to share with you guys about the senior class. Did you know that over $5.3 million in academic and athletic scholarships have been awarded to the class of 2021? This senior class is also one of the most impressive classes in school's history, with 143 students being recognized as NC Scholars. Another impressive fact is that over 96% of our seniors will be continuing their education in the military or at a 2-year or 4-year college or university. Many will be attending the great schools in North Carolina, such as Duke University, NC State University, Appalachian State, NC Central, UNC Chapel Hill, and UNC Charlotte, just to name a few. Others will be attending out-of-state schools, such as Case Western Reserve University, Baylor University, Howard University, the Art Academy of Cincinnati, Clemson University, Virginia Tech, and the University of South Carolina. Congratulations to the class of 2021 for all of your past accomplishments, and good luck with all of your future endeavors that are yet to come.
My name is Natalie Pierce, and I have the privilege of introducing the special guests and dignitaries seated on our stage. I ask each person to stand to be recognized as I call their name and remain standing until the entire row has been called. Mr. Malik Bazell, principal of Wakefield High School. Miss Roxy Cash, board member of the Wake County School Board of Education. Mr. Chris McCabe, Northern Area Superintendent of Wake County Public School System. Mrs. Beth Kiefer, Assistant Principal of Instruction at Wakefield High School. Miss Michelle Gordon, Assistant Principal at Wakefield High School. Mr. Curtis Harris, Assistant Principal at Wakefield High School. Mr. Ryan Cummings, Assistant Principal at Wakefield High School. And Miss Melissa Ansbacher, Senior Coordinator and Counselor at Wakefield High School. And the students seated on stage to my left are Ashley Ziegler, Student Body President, Victoria Napolitano, Class Speaker, Madeline Nguyen, Class Speaker, Linda Medina Ramirez, Patrick Meyer, Tyra Thompson, and Benjamin Yu. Thank you for being here with us this morning. I now have the pleasure to introduce our first class speaker, Victoria Napolitano.
Good morning. It is my honor to be able to speak to you this morning. If there is one thing that is constant about life, it's change. No matter what you do, change will happen to you even when you wish it wouldn't. When I first walked into Wakefield High School 4 years ago, one of the biggest changes in my life happened. One of my best friends was not going to the same school as me. Even though I had other friends who were still going to this school, it felt different. At the time, it felt like the worst thing in the world. Not being able to see my best friend every day like I had in middle school. As I went on, it got easier, and although I did not see her on a daily basis, I would still hang out with her on weekends, and we would talk all the time. As time went on, I found myself making new friends and drifting from others. At first, I was not the biggest fan of change. I mean, everything I thought I knew was out the window. However, as time progressed, I started to realize that change is not bad. In fact, it is exactly what we need to go through my high school years. Many more changes came throughout my high school years. Going into high school, I thought most of my classes would be easy like they were in middle school and elementary school. I never really found myself struggling in class until I got to junior year. Some classes I thought came easily to me, such as math, progressively became more difficult. It was frustrating to not understand the material and ask for help. Initially, I believed I did not need the help and that I could do it on my own. But my views started to change when I realized that no matter what I did on my own, nothing was working to better help my understanding. It was another change I needed to make, learning that getting help is not a sign of weakness, but rather a sign of strength. While it may have been taken time, I finally came to the thought of asking for help and saw improvement in my scores for tests. Those were not the only changes that I came across. Prior to turning 16, I had to rely on my parents to drive me places. But when I got my driver's license, I could drive myself. This brought not only a change, but more freedom. Now I didn't have to wait for my parents to have a free moment to take me where I needed to go. Instead, I could take myself. All I had to do was tell them where I was going and when I would be back. It was that easy. The freedom of driving myself brought another change in my life, getting a job. Getting a job took a lot of the free time that I used to have. With the job came more change. I had to make sure that I understood my responsibility and accountability. I not only had to worry about myself, but others around me to make sure that I got what I needed to do done and was not just messing around and having fun. On days where I once had nothing to do, I would be spending hours at work so that I could make money for myself. If I could make money, then I wouldn't need to worry about spending the money my parents gave me, and I could make my own budget. Suddenly, I could buy things on my own and not have to worry about asking my parents if it was okay. With this, however, I also had to learn how to spend wisely and think about my needs and not only my wants. The year 2020 brought the biggest change that I, along with everybody else, had to go through, a pandemic known as COVID-19. In the beginning, we all thought it wouldn't be as serious as it turned out to be. Oh, it will only be 2 weeks, we joked, nothing to worry about. As 2 weeks turned into a month, and a month turned into 2, I started to realize just how serious this pandemic was. One day, I was able to go wherever I wanted with whomever I wanted, and the next, I had to wear a mask to get into places. We were told to wear masks everywhere so that we could stop the spread and hopefully make COVID-19 go away. Our once normal society, as I knew, was gone. School was closed, activities were canceled, hanging out with friends all stopped suddenly. School's closing was probably the biggest change. We had to adapt to online learning rather than face-to-face. Instead of being able to go see a teacher after school, we had to make appointments through a Google Meet to see them. Currently, we are still learning how to adapt to online school, whether it's using a computer rather than paper or walking the correct ways in hallways. The change is evolving. As I graduate, I know college is going to bring even more change. Some of us will be going places we've never been before and far away from home. Others will be closer to home but stay on campus and might enter the workforce. It is in these next few steps that we, the class of 2021, will change the most. Whether it's our lifestyles, our majors, our friends, or our hobbies, we should welcome these changes and not fear them. Someone once said, life is about moving on, accepting changes, and looking forward to what makes you stronger and more complete. And I believe this is the truest statement of our lives at the moment. Thank you. I would now like to introduce our last class speaker for today, Madeline Nguyen.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Madeline Nguyen, and it is my honor today to deliver the commencement address for Wakefield High School's graduating class of 2021. I'd like to thank the students, families, faculty, and Wakefield moms for making an impact on the graduates who sit here today. Society tells you at a young age that you have to be the best student, be the best athlete, be the best performer, or be the best son or daughter. What they don't tell you is how to get there. When we walked into Wakefield High School on the first day of freshman year, we were terrified. We students would bump into other students on the stairwell, and then we'd take the wrong hallway to get to our next class. After about a week or so, we'd finally have the hallways memorized, and we know what path to take to get to class on time. Sophomore year, you somewhat have an understanding of who your friends are and who you want to sit with at lunch. Perhaps drama stirs and you don't want to sit with these people anymore, so you change seats. You head into junior year with the expectations that it will be the most difficult year of your high school career because that's what your older siblings, alum, and adults always tell you. And they were right. You tell yourself that those all-nighters trying to finish assignments were not worth it. So when class registration rolls around for senior year, you sign up for the easiest classes because you've learned your educational boundaries. When senior year began, I'm sure you all thought back on high school. You question if you dated the right person, wish you weren't absent the day Drake Bell performed, and hope that you applied to the right colleges. I remember coming back from lunch in March during our junior year, hearing the news that we'd be out of school for 2 weeks. Those 2 weeks turned into months, and those months turned into a year. The COVID-19 pandemic impacted everyone drastically, especially us students. You could say that this pandemic was a mistake, that it ruined our last year of high school, but what I got from it is more than I could have ever asked for. I got to do school from the comfort of my own bed in my pajamas, and I got to tackle new hobbies I thought I'd never have time for during a normal school year. Take what you see as mistakes in your life and turn them into opportunities. The clothing I wore, the people I talked to, the classes I took, and the decisions I made 4 years ago, I probably wouldn't dare dabbling in now. Yet, when you went down that wrong hallway your freshman year, and when you changed lunch seats your sophomore year, you probably bumped into a lifelong friend. And those difficult classes you took helped you build a strong work ethic. Whether you walk out of here today planning to attend a 4-year university, enlist in the Army, or go straight into the workforce, use your mistakes as further knowledge to succeed wherever you may go. So go on and take the wrong path. Eat foods you've avoided and hug someone you hate. You may not have walked out of high school being the best athlete, the best student, the best performer, or the best son or daughter. But because of the mistakes you've made and the mistakes you will continue to make in the future, you'll learn how to get there. Congratulations, class of 2021. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Let's give one more round of applause to the young ladies, Victoria and Madeline, for their words of remembrance, wisdom, and advice. Thank you, ladies. Class of 2021, parents, family, friends, teachers, and staff. For many of you, this is a special day and a long-awaited moment. It is a milestone for which all of you should be proud. At this time, I need to provide you with some procedural instructions to maintain ceremonial decorum. Ms. Melissa Ansbacher, counselor and senior coordinator, will be reading the names of the graduates. Please hold your applause during the reading of the names. This is a special moment for all our graduates, and we want each student to have his or her own moment for recognition. Thank you for your cooperation. After the recessional, you may meet your son or daughter in the commons area inside Wakefield High School. We ask that you wait until the senior class has exited the gym before exiting. Thank you.
William Davis Lohr. Farish Shakib Lomri. Samuel Aiden Long. Dominic Miguel Lopez. Brianna Felicia Lopez Jimenez. Joel Lucian II. Hannah Elizabeth True Lyon. Ian Timothy McCallalag. William Ryan Magnus. Blaze Joseph Edward Mahungu. Kyle Patrick Meyer. El Shaddai Molly. William Thomas Mallory. Celine Jolie Malosa. James Jan Manzi. Laura Patricia Marquez. Kevin Marte. Alexia Ruby Martinez Ibarra. Maxwell Robert Matthews. Daniel Faison Matthews. Shekinah Joy Matthews. Ava Nicole McClary. Michael Beck McCoy. Thomas Edward McEnany. Justin Demetrius McLarimore. Dabney Grace McNamara. Reese Camlin McNeil. Linda Ivany Medina Ramirez. Andrew Ashraf Munir Melik. Victoria Isabel Merced. Elizabeth Joy Merrill. Morgan Elizabeth Metello. Patrick Ryan Meyer. Ryan Matthew McCula. Jaden Anthony Millard. Brandon Vash Miller. Shayla Monet Miller. Symphony Amaya Miller. Kobe Derek Millsap. Sumaya Miralolu. Daniel Darush Moffred Adzderi. Montavia Manrika Monroe. Hiroki J. Moody. Estina Astonish Moore. Omar Monreal Jaimes Moore. Jody Morales Gonzalez. William Lauren Morgan. Thomas Blackwell Murphy V. Charlie James Murray III. Lucas Quinn Myers. Amelia Marie Meervold. Victoria Deborah Manto Napolitano. Anna Insaf Narducci. Tan Quang No. Madeline Yankton Nguyen. V. Not Nguyen. Kensington Elizabeth Norfleet. Luke Andrew Norman. Emma Louisa Rose Norton. Marvin Angasa Nyanga Jr. Lizeth Ogwen Hernandez. Lindsay Bridget Olivares Castaneda. Ryan Paul Maguire Ombati. Emily Daniela Ortiz. Lizeth Catalina Ortiz Ardila. Christopher Xavier Ottaviano. Zamaria Jaylene Pace. Kylie Paige Palmer. Samar Pama. Cameron Alexis Parker. Ernest Amin Youssef Parks. Dia Baldev Patel. Om Atul Patel. Cherry Paw. Tori Lynn Pierce. Michael Robert Pierce Ross. Frangier Abraham Pena Perdomo. Janae Alexandria Penny. Brian Perez Martinez. Madeline Ray Perkins. Grayson Burton Perrin. Hayden Chase Perry. Emily Nee Pham. Lauren Michelle Piazza. Natalie Irene Pierce. Sabrina Lizeth Pinzon. Luke Andrew Perung. Lauren Olivia Plowden. Mary Elizabeth Policastro. Sydney Elise Pollock. Anthony Adilber Portillo. Anaya Michelle Pollard. Nicholas J. Povio. Amber Nicole Denise Presses. Connor Aiden Presto. Riley Marie Preserpi. Kylie Ann Siwa Quenu. Ryan Joseph Quinn. Isaiah Carmelo Ragland. Lauren Rose Regon. Albert Ramirez Jr. Elijah Manuel Ramirez. Elvin Alexis Ramirez Perdermo. LaShonda Ariana Randall. Michael Lamont Reed. Jira Ruthie Reed. Kristen Elizabeth Rendell. Brian Joel Reyes Aguilar. Brittany Reyes de Casas. Daniela Elizabeth Reynolds. Alex Uriel Rincon Quintero. Ronnie H. Ramah. Riley Lisa Robeson. Dalton Bennett Rolls. Joey Peter Rosen. Zion Emil Frazier Rumpf. Angela Elizabeth Sechowitz. Brandon Sanchez Bello. Victor Fabian Sandoval. Brady Lee Scheid. Adeline Grace Schlegel. Olivia Francesca Ciara. Janaya Lanice Scott. Dashel Jared Scott Jetter. Andrew David Screen. Lance Alexander Searcy. Alexandra Eden Sheffield. Erica Jordan Shelton. Nyla Lene Sherrod. John Edward Shockley. Emily Logan Silver Campbell. Max Julian Simmons. Megan Lee Simrell. Christopher Isaiah Sinclair. Caroline Bennett Singleton. Chelsea Michelle Singleton. Sophia Marie Hines Slaymaker. Robert Michael Smart. David Alexander Smedberg. Emmanuel Paul Smith. Kelvin Xavier Smith Judkins. David Alberto Sobrevilla. Logan Ingram Sook. John Jairo Soriano. Joshua Temitope Sosanya. Charles Luke Spencer. Kyle James Stack. Laura Ann Stanfield. Jason Finley Stanisic Jr. Noah David Sterick. Isaiah Lee Stouffer Anderson. Samuel Philip Steiner. Emma Marie Stewart. Desmond Damon Stoll. Harper Andrew Strickland. Matthew Robert Stutz. Maurice Alexander Sumner, Jr. Joshua William Sun. Ariana Terry Surjanoff. Shania Star Swain. Logan Harris Swank. Scarlett Caroline Taylor. Camille Tujeta Andahar. Jonathan Patrick Temple. Destiny Aaliyah Terrell. Lat Saul Them. Ashton Nicholas Thomas. Sean Joji Thomas. Marshall Davis Thompson. Tyra Elise Thompson. Sydney Elena Thornton. Benjamin Mark Took. Trung Nan Trang. Russell Nicholas Seng. Hervé Kabaya Shavodi. Claire Ella Tunker. Francesca Rose Turchetti. Brian Obina Umozuriki. Janice Giovanni Upperman. Thomas Hartford Utesh. Ryan Dean Uttridge. Luis Enrique Vargas Luna. Jacqueline Vargas Velazquez. Trenton Russell Varnado. Mariah Lana May Vesey. Ethan Alexander Velazquez. Nathaniel Robert Veely. Angela Magalise Villegas. Donovan Chandler Vinson. Anna Tu Vong. Kennedy Janae Walker. Tanijah Rashida Walker. Gavin Charles Wallace. Lauren Elizabeth Wallace. Paul Lee Ward, Jr. Christopher Maurice Warren. Daniel Robert Warner. Graham Bradley Watson. Riley Brianna Watson. Isabel Jane Webb. Anna Christine Welker. Jalen Lamont White. Peyton Rain Witzel. Aaliyah Nicole Williams. Brandon Michael Williams. Elijah Jamal Williams. Elise Nicole Williams. Jacob Riley Williams. Javon Amir Williams. Zachary Gerald Wilson. William Davis Witt. Sterling Maurice Woody II. Spencer Charles Wolford. Zied Haitham Yakut. Anthony Mukram Anwar Yasa. Kennedy Michelle Young. Benjamin Sungtae Yu. Serena Elizabeth Jaslyn Zapata. Christopher Zapata Aquino. Ashley McCole Ziegler. Congratulations.
Will the class of 2021 please stand? On behalf of the faculty and staff of Wakefield High School, I certify that each student has satisfactorily completed and met the graduation requirements prescribed by the Wake County Board of Education and the state of North Carolina, and is therefore eligible to receive a high school diploma. Congratulations, class of 2021.